Now, the COVID-19 pandemic has clearly made financial hardship and poverty worse. A study by Ipsos has confirmed that thousands of people have been forced to join the long line of unemployment. Let's discuss this further. We're joined by the organization's Marie Harris. Marie, a very good morning. Thanks for your time. You're finding that almost half of South African households went hungry due to COVID-19. Tell us more. I mean, where and who are we talking about?
Well, it is pretty widespread, Uveka. If we look at the ages of the people who say that during the COVID epidemic last year, they, either adults or children in their household, had to go hungry. It is spread over all age groups. But if we look at the map of South Africa, it is very clear that the provinces of KwaZulu-Natal, the second most populous province in the country, and the province of the Eastern Cape, which we know had a lot of issues during the height of the second wave of COVID last year, were the worst affected. Other provinces were also affected, obviously, and these two are followed by the Western Cape, Gauteng, simply because there's so many people living in these areas, and the Northwest.
Well, what is the extent of hunger, Marie? What were the stories that you were hearing?
Well, it is absolutely widespread, and it is so interesting that it affects all population groups. Not, people usually think that people in rural areas might be those that are going hungry. It is the case. There are, if we look at the Eastern Cape and KwaZulu-Natal, obviously it is rural or more rural provinces. But with areas like Gauteng and the Western Cape, it is absolutely everywhere. And the big thing is because about 3 million people lost their jobs. Or, if we look at the proportions who had to sacrifice salaries, who were only paid a part of their salaries, who were not able to get any help or grants or anything. It is really a countrywide issue.
Well, very interesting. I see here that you say hunger affecting similar proportions of working and non-working South Africans. How is that?
If we look at non-working people, it is usually obviously those who do not have work, which is about half of the population at this stage. Is just staggering, and those who are housewives or who are students. And in that category also fall those who have grants and get grants from the government, which has over the last number of years pulled a lot of people out of poverty, if we look at the effect of grants. And we see the effect here that even those who have a job might not have got their whole salary or only a portion of their salary. And then those on the other side who do not have a job, a lot of them get a grant. So people were very much on the same playing field. And the other thing is that the fact that people could not eat well also affected their health. And we see that a large proportion are saying that people in their households are suffering from stress and all sorts of other illnesses because of the fact that they didn't have enough food.
Well, also interesting that you found when it came to government's handling of COVID-19, 6 in every 10 South Africans, rounding about 58%, think that the president did a good job during COVID-19, and a similar proportion, around 56, giving government credit for handling of the pandemic. Was that surprising?
Not really, because we did the study, or not this specific study, but we asked this question throughout last year in different studies. This study obviously was a nationwide study representative of the whole population, but we also asked this question in internet studies and in phone studies. And we saw that a lot of South Africans appreciated what the president did, what the government did. They had trust in the process, and we see that also coming from supporters of all population groups. So we should not assume that it's only ANC supporters that are saying the government and the president are handling this epidemic well. I think appreciation comes from everywhere.
All right, Marie Harris from Ipsos, thanks very much. Fascinating findings. They're very heartbreaking as well, considering the number of people gone hungry, who are still going hungry due to what has happened in this pandemic here.